Patriots fans, do you believe this will be the final season for Bill Belichick as the head coach of the New England Patriots? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Bombshell report suggesting Belichick could be exiting after this season. We're going to dive into all of that coming up here on today's show. You're watching Patriots Today by Chat Sports. My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. Is Bill Belichick firmly on the hot seat? Well, NFL Insider of Monday Morning Quarterback Sports Illustrated Albert Breer reported on Colin Cowherd's show that discussions have taken place involving Robert Kraft about moving on for Belichick after this current season. Of course, since Tom Brady has left, the Patriots have just had one playoff appearance, and I think the big question here is, will Robert Kraft fire Bill Belichick? Does he have the balls? Is it the right move to make? Because obviously it's a tricky situation given the history of those two together side by side for well over 2 decades now. Here is the back and forth between Colin Cowherd and Albert Breer. Cowherd to Breer said, "Do you believe there are discussions in New England about moving on from Bill at the end of the season?" And then Albert Breer responded with this: "These discussions have taken place. I can tell you for sure, Robert hears the criticism. He hears the anger locally, and people in the building know for a fact that he's hearing the anger from the fan base. I think now we're at the point where, is this just going to be a flat-out firing?" That is very interesting, especially the last part of that, because I think that's the tricky part. Can you fire someone like Bill Belichick? I mean, the literal answer is yes. Robert Kraft can do what he wants. He's the owner of this franchise. But the fact that discussions have taken place, the fact that Robert Kraft is even having these thoughts, like, I feel like once you have these thoughts, there's almost no going back. Like, unless the Patriots have a major turnaround the rest of the season, I do think there's a good chance that whether it's a firing or some sort of mutual conclusion, that Bill Belichick may not be the head coach beyond this year. We have a full conversation to discuss all of this, the whys, the why nots, and of course, looking back at everything Belichick has done. But before we do all that, what would you do? You're in charge, not Robert Kraft. You're in charge. And of course, Belichick is the GM. But if you were the GM and Belichick was the guy you had to make a decision on, what would you do? Would you fire Bill Belichick if you were in charge? Type F for fire or K for keep. What would you do? Let us know down in the comment section below. Now, Patriots fans, help us out. We are trying to get to 6,100 subscribers here on the channel. When big Patriots news, rumors, and other stories drop, we discuss it here on this show. We just crossed 6,000 subs, trying to get to 6,100. If we get there by the end of week 7, we would greatly appreciate it. So help us out. Hit that sub button. I do just want to acknowledge, like, this is not a simple and easy situation if you are Robert Kraft and, you know, the team around him, if you will. I mean, Bill Belichick, what he's done in New England is second to none. I mean, the run this guy has had is unbelievable. He's 263 and 113 as this franchise's head coach. He's won 6 Super Bowls. He's won 10 AFC championships, 17 AFC East titles, and he's made the playoffs 18 times. The resume speaks for itself. This is not just some simple, like, well, you know, Bill's not getting it done, we got to move on. Like, it's kind of hard to move on from the guy who's considered the GOAT of NFL head coaches. Now, are there reasons you should move on? Is there concern for where this thing is headed, especially how it's been trending recently? Yes, absolutely. And we're going to dive into all of that. But that doesn't make it an easy situation. It really doesn't at all. So stay tuned. We're going to dive into more here in just a second. But today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. If you're looking to spice up your game day experience, get started with Prize Picks today, a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. And the way it works is pretty simple. You pick 2 to 6 players on any given entry, and if they will go for more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry if you go all the way up to 6 players. I got a 3-player entry here for this Patriots-Bills game, and yeah, the offense has been struggling. Give me more than 4.5 punts from Behringer. For Josh Allen, I think he's going to eclipse 255.5 passing yards against New England. And then I think James Cook reaches that rushing number as well. Picking 3 players here so I can win 5 times my money, $10 to win 50. Check out Prize Picks today, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use our code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100 at Prize Picks. You are not competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available instead of battling other players, including sharks and pros. prizepicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. Check out that link and promo code in the comments and in the description of this video. Since Tom Brady left, what has it looked like? Well, the first year, 7-9. I actually thought that was fairly admirable. It was Cam Newton, a little bit of Brian Hoyer. That was a tough situation. That roster was kind of in flux at the time. Then you kind of thought that this thing was turning back in the right direction. 10-7 in 2021 in Mac Jones' first year as quarterback. He showed some promising things that season, lost in the wild card, but a 10-win year. Last year took a step back. The offense struggled. Still went 8-9, so not a bad season, but certainly not what Patriots fans are used to. And then this year, it's really been a struggle. I mean, 1-5, probably would be 0-6 if Aaron Rodgers was not injured. The only game they won was against the Jets without Rodgers. It's been a tough go. It's been a really, really tough go, and I think the offense has been a big reason for that. Mac Jones, in his 3rd season, is playing under his 3rd different offensive coordinator. Had Josh McDaniels his rookie year. Last year had the Matt Patricia combination, Joe Judge, etc. And this year with Bill O'Brien, it hasn't gotten going either. And look, when you don't have high-level quarterback play, it's hard to win. That's the bottom line. Not that it's all on Mac Jones. It's not. This Patriots offense as a whole, especially these past 2 years in particular, it's just been a mess. It's been a mess. And when you're changing coordinators every year, when you're trying to establish new things, it's hard to build continuity, and I think that's led to a lot of these losses. This offense just cannot consistently move the ball and score points. And what are the reasons for that? Well, number one, Mac Jones bears responsibility. The QB play has been inconsistent since Tom Brady left. Again, that first year, Tom Brady, Brian Hoyer, etc., just not good enough. Mac Jones since then had a good rookie year. Last 2 years, not good. Inconsistent, to say the least. The offensive line has been bad. There's been struggles there up front. You have no game changers at wide receiver and haven't in a long time. Different play callers shuffling in and out, like I said, and just whiffing on draft picks. And look, it has to be said, guys, Bill Belichick has not evaluated and drafted offensive talent at nearly a high enough level in recent years, especially on the offensive side. I still think he can coach defense really well. I still think he evaluates defense pretty well. They've drafted some good players on that side of the ball. But whether it's the draft or free agency, the offensive additions have not been good. You signed Juju Smith-Schuster, he's not even a factor. You've signed numerous tight ends in recent years since Gronkowski left. No one's really been a factor. Hunter Henry's been okay. In the draft, you're taking guys like Tyquan Thornton in the 2nd round. He's not a good player. Like, it's just not been good at all when it comes to evaluating, scouting, and developing offensive talent, and Bill Belichick is in charge of player personnel. So that part has to be said. That's part of this discussion as well. So how does the Belichick era end? If you had to guess, is he going to get fired? Will he eventually retire? And I'm not even necessarily saying if it ends after this season. I just think whenever it ends, will he retire on his own terms or will he get fired? Does Robert Kraft have the balls to fire Bill Belichick? I'm not sure he does because it's such a hard situation. F for fired or R for retirement. Now, this is what I wish would happen. I wish after this year, Belichick would announce his retirement and move into an advisory role within the organization. I still think there's a place in this organization for Bill Belichick. Hire a new GM, hire a head coach, get some youth into this building, and hit that reset button once and for all. It's not easy to say goodbye to a legend. I understand. Just like it was hard when Tom Brady left. This won't be easy either, but I do think it's what's best for the organization. The question is will Belichick be too stubborn to retire? And if he is, does Robert Kraft have the balls to fire him? Like, will he make that decision if he has to? Again, Albert Breer reports that there have been discussions about Belichick being gone after this season. All right, guys, that's going to do it for Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Be sure to subscribe. Again, the NFL trade deadline's around the corner. Got another game coming up on Sunday, so lots of stuff to discuss here on this channel. It's youtube.com/Patriots Today. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you soon.